Inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, it's very hard. We have been trying inch by inch to make progress on our sunroom, and I just am so proud to tell you that this room addition to our house, which we've been building our off-grid cabin over the last few years, but this room in particular is 100% built by our teenage boys. The last part has most recently been worked on by our 17-year-old. We're just really proud of the progress that he's been making. It's inch by inch because he doesn't have all day every day. He does have other responsibilities, but I wanted to give you today a bird's eye view of progress. I want to go back in time, catch a few snippets, and just fill you in on where we are today with the sunroom project. We call it a sunroom, but it's more like an extended porch. It's covered, and it will be kind of an extension of our living room. So join me as we look at what he's done. We're not quite done yet, but we're getting there. And every day that he has available, he's making progress. It's looking great. He's learning many things. And yeah, be proud with me. Hi friends, welcome back. It's that time again to check in with progress on our off-grid cabin. Today I want to look out here in the sunroom and see what Adam has been busy doing over the last little while. It's kind of a couple days a week that he gets to work on this, and so progress is a little bit slow, but this is our enclosed sun porch. And we call it a sun porch because it's full of windows. And he's been making good progress in here. We started out with this, I think it's a 10-foot porch off of the front of our house. So here is the front door behind me, front windows. We started out with this being a porch, and then we decided at some point that we were going to enclose it and make it into a room where we can have plants and lots of sunshine, start seedlings, grow our trays of things in the springtime so that we don't have to go to the greenhouses to buy plants and all that, and mostly just for enjoyment. So let's get an update, because it's been a long time since I've done an update about our cabin. Outside of our house is board and batten, and some of it has weathered. We probably will be using a wood treatment to bleach these boards because some of them have weathered kind of unevenly being in the sunshine. We have this big picture window that goes into our living room, a door on either end, and Adam has been working this week framing out the windows. So as you can see, we have, I think, 7 windows in here going outside, and this one over here has not been framed yet, but it has been, the inside has been framed, it just hasn't been trimmed. A lot of the other ones he has gotten trimmed, and this is walnut that we have sourced from Greg's tree business. We have had it milled, dried, planed, cut, sawmilled, just pretty much everything to get it into lumber that can be usable. Adam planes it here before he puts it up, and then he rips it down to the proper size, and it's looking really good. We like it with the contrast with the spruce. We have the spruce tongue and groove on all the walls in here except for the wall that I showed you that is the kind of mixed wood rough cut that we're going to leave it rough cut, obviously, and we will put the batten strips up when we get to that point in the process. This window behind us still has to be trimmed out, and that will also be trimmed out in walnut. We have I guess those are the soffits up there. I'm not sure what those are called. We still have those to trim out. Okay, looking at the room it's a little bit easier to see how things are. So that is the kitchen window, and this is the window the door going into our living room, and I already showed you this window. So we have these to trim out. First, these are I think 10 inches, so there's lots of room for putting plants, and we would like to put shelves up here, have hanging places so that we can put the shelves. But he's got 1 almost done, 2 almost done, 3. It's funny, he's doing every other one. That one, and he has 1 piece of trim. That one's done. 1 piece of trim left. And I believe he left the trim off these so that he could work around these beams going across. We have the ceiling fans, which work great. We did the beadboard on the top. It's the same tongue and groove spruce. It's just the flip side of it. One side has the beadboard and one side has the V-groove. We still have our outlets to cover and these doors to be trimmed out. But yesterday Adam was working on trimming out this door, which we have to build steps for, and then it will go down and really be our entrance door when the time comes. Adam also spent a long time laying down this hardwood floor. This is white oak and it has been sanded. Let's take a moment to peek into the sunroom because Adam's coming and almost here. Okay, he got done with the sanding yesterday and it looks great. The floor is ready to be finished now. And this is white oak. And well, what more can I say? It's a floor. Everything in here is super dusty, although he vacuumed it and swept it up. If you want to take a look at my petunias, they are covered with dust. I'm about to take them out and dust them off because these are supposed to be a nice magenta shade and they look like dusty. So that was from all the dust flying from sanding, but it's really coming together. We have to get the windows trimmed out in here. And the floor finished, and then we'll have the trim around this room, and then it'll be largely done. We turned this room from a front porch to a covered porch, and so this was covered with green roofing metal, and they cut that out, and then this insulation is what we have in the ceiling. 4-inch, or actually 3 inches of insulation, of foam insulation, and then 1 more inch. That board is just one of our purlins. And so we have at least 4 inches of rigid foam insulation on the roof. And then we have insulation on the inside as well. That's just a bonus, telling you about the insulation. The ceiling fans hanging from these beams are working pretty well, and I still might whitewash these beams because they are kind of stained up. They're just natural. We did the tongue and groove beadboard on the ceiling, and we did the reverse side on the walls. It's the same spruce, but one has beadboard and one has V-groove, and so we chose the V-groove for the walls. We have these nice bright windows that are going to be great. The only regret that we have in here is that we didn't take the windows down maybe a couple feet to make them even more spacious and sunny, but you live and learn. That's pretty much how life is with us. It smells amazing in here because I have this lavender that I'm going to be dealing with that I harvested at a lavender farm yesterday, and it's not dusty. I'm not going to let it get dusty. I just wanted to take 1 second and ask you, if you like this video, to hit the subscribe button. You can also hit the like button if you do like it. And this just helps us get our content out to more people. I noticed that most of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So you can change that in a flash. It helps our channel, helps you, that you can get off-grid advice, off-grid living, and just random stuff from the crazy redhead on the ridge. Have a great day. When we're done with this room, we will have this wicker furniture out here, and it started out white. This was hand-me-down furniture that we got, and I am, like several years ago, I spray painted one of them brown, and it's gotten scuffed up in the construction process, so I said, forget that. Let me wait till it's done. So we have a couple chairs and a little like love seat and a couple tables that are wicker, very much hand-me-down lived a good life already, but we're going to put them to use. And the sofa cushions that I had from our old sofa that didn't make it through the move are going on these chairs until I can make some new cushions, and I have the fabric for them, and it's red. And then I have another fabric that is like an off-white with red flowers. It's very pretty and very country. I just have to find the time and the motivation and all that stuff. So one of these days that'll happen. Oh, okay, I wanted to tell you the vision for this room is it's an extension of our living room, for one, because it's so much lighter in here than our living room, and that's one thing we kind of want to work on. Maybe putting some skylights or something in our living room because it is a little bit dark. But this room is nice and light. We may have to put a window unit in here because it does get hot in the day. But we love to sit in here and either open the windows or leave them shut, watch the birds. But my vision for this is lots and lots of plants in all these spaces. We have the nice wide windowsills. They are about 10 inches wide, and so they can hold plants, but it's a very dangerous proposition to put plants on windowsills when you have 1,000 cats. And so while we don't have 1,000 cats, sometimes it feels like it, and I have achieved my goal of becoming the crazy cat woman, and so I'm trying to find out a way to put some shelves in front of the windows, have hanging plants, different things that the cats can get to if they really try, but it'll be a lot harder. And so yes, my vision for this room is lots and lots of plants. I had lots of plants at my old house, and they just one by one have perished or had certain death happen to them. And so it's been a long time, but that's just a part of me that I want to explore again. We have all these windows. This is great for starting seeds. We have seedlings in this tray. We have seedling trays in these windows, and I'm not sure why it's curved. I'm not sure what that's all about. Greg's starting some different things here, and we have other ones that are almost ready to transplant as soon as they get a little bit more height on them. So yeah, we're calling it the sunroom because we have visions of plants. My husband likes plants. I love plants, and we will have plants in this room, and we will sit in here and we will enjoy it and sip tea and drink smoothies and kick our feet up. Polyurethane 2 coats, and it's looking great. We have a few things with construction debris, but overall we really like the white oak. This is the same type of wood that we have in our living room and dining room, and actually our bedroom as well. So we just decided to go ahead and keep using this. We like it, it's durable, and yeah, that's what we decided. So this is his little workshop with the saw. He cuts the boards in here, measures, doing a lot of measuring and figuring on this project. I think the last time we showed you, basically they were just getting the walls the walls were put up and it was dried in, but they were working on the ceilings. So this just really extends our space and actually gives us 10 extra feet all along the front of the house so that we can have a room for extended living space. We're gonna put wicker chairs out here, and so that we can sit and look out all these windows. They look out. Right now they're open because it's cooler outside, and we can see the forest. We can look at the birds. Sometimes we've seen a bear, and watch the cats, look at the flower beds, and just enjoy living in this cabin that we're working on. It's definitely been a work in progress, and the work has really slowed down recently because Andrew has been working full time, and so Adam works part-time, and he just gets a couple days a week here that he's helping actually doing the work around here. So the boys have really learned lots of things by experience, and we've made plenty of wish we'd done it this way, wish we'd done it that way. Most of the things that we've done have been learning as we go, and that's just part of it. Living on this off-grid homestead is definitely a work in progress and a learning experience. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but behind there we have 2 beams going across, and those we put up specifically for hanging the ceiling fans. We wanted to anchor the ceiling fans to something, and I honestly don't remember, because they are actually hooked into the ceiling, so there was a reason why we put the beams across. Oh, I know why we did that. Okay, I'll tell you why we did that. This is another learning curve for us, so many learning curves. I really thought that when we ordered the ceiling fans, I knew that they had the extended pole so that they could be mounted like that, but I did not realize that these were actually flush mount ceiling fans. And by the time we realized that, they were already opened, and sending them back was going to be a real hassle. And you see how the base of the ceiling fan is that straight part. It doesn't have the down rod coming from the part that hooks to the actual fan. And so there are fans that have the down rod that you can hang your ceiling fan down. You have your base at the top, and then the actual fan has a way to hang it with a down rod, as many down rods as you need. Well, we got the down rods. I thought I was good to go, and somehow I got it mixed up when I ordered it, that I got the flush mount, and so they did have to do a few little modifications to make it work. And I know that technically it's not, it's a little bit different, but it's working. And they still have, if you see that small block of wood on top of the beam, that goes on the ceiling to block it in, just like this one has been done, so that trims it out. The ceiling fans work really great out here, not only for light, but to push the air around. And yeah, this room, I think it's gonna be one of our favorite rooms of the house, because it allows us to just see so much. I'm looking around this room and seeing the wood walls and enough wood. I'm really strongly considering hanging up my Brazilian hammock, because what better place than out here where you can kind of be a little bit closer to the forest to sleep in your hammock, rest, and just enjoy life like a Brazilian. This is the planer where the wood gets planed, and some of the boards. After being planed, the boards are taken to the table saw and ripped down for trim. Some of the angles require quite a bit of calculation, which Adam has gotten pretty good at. As you can see from this side, we have doors, but we don't have steps yet. So that'll be a future project. We also have siding to finish out here. We got to the point where we had run out, and so there's just a few pieces that we have to do. But this door here will have some type of steps coming down to the main level, and then the opposite side also has a door, which will be our main door going in. Okay, come on, Squirt, let's go check it out. You want to check it out with me? Come on. Okie doke. I think he got all of the windows finished today, which is really amazing. Also, the doors are framed. So again, he trimmed out the doors in walnut. And now that this is progress is being made, I plan to paint this door, at least the trim. The trim on this door will be hunter green. And I haven't decided yet if I will paint the outside of the door hunter green, but that will match the roof. Okay. Looking out, you can see our camper canopy and our old camper where we spent so long. 5.5 years in that thing. Okay, he did 4-inch walnut to trim out the windows, and he has still a board here that's waiting for something. All of the windows now are trimmed out, and they look really, really good. It's just amazing how it makes everything look more finished when you get those last boards on. So the ones on the ends, and the doors are framed out. Okay, we have this window that we will be trimming out because this is just, you know, the flashing where it was installed. So that's something that we have to do after we bleach the boards. That's a project for another day. Let me just give you a view of the whole thing. Here we have it. And soon and very soon we will have furniture in here. Clean up the mess. We have the baseboards on this side. We still have to do the baseboards on this other side. This whole side has to be done. And here's little Squirt, the rescued kitty cat. You can look at that video. That's the latest one that explains how we came about to having this little Squirt in our home. Yes, you are very much a communicator, aren't you? This has represented lots of work. First, putting in the wood floor was, you know, I guess that was the easy part, but he used the leftover from what we had in the house. And so he got about a third of the way done with the floor, and we had to order more wood, and then there was a delay, so we had to go. We actually went and picked that up. They didn't deliver it this time for the wood floors. And then when we went to seal the floors, Adam sealed them, and for some reason the pad for applying the polyurethane was not the one that we used last time. We used the lambskin, and this time they sold me a different pad. I think I got it from the Home Depot, and it just did not work like the first one. So we had to, Adam sanded the whole thing down, basically almost to the bare wood, and he had to put another coat on, and we had to use the regular kind, the lambskin, which I think you can still get at Home Depot. But when I asked the guy at the Home Depot if he had any of those, he handed me the one kind that we hadn't used before, and ignorantly I bought it and didn't think about how it might affect it, but whoa, it was like bubbles. And so that didn't work out too well. So that made more work, but Adam was a trooper and he did it all. And so now it's good and cured. It's so hot out here, so it cures it pretty well. We're here in the sunroom with another part of the update. This wall behind me, I told you, is weathered, and it was the outside wall of our house, and now it's the inside wall of the sunroom going into the living room. And so because it is unevenly weathered, we have some of the bare wood and then some of the weathered gray, we are going to treat it, and Adam's going to be doing that now. If it was all evenly weathered, we might just keep it as rustic, or if it was all new. But when it's half and half, it's kind of weird because it's not going to weather anymore being undercover. So we have this, I think it's called 30-second, I forgot what it's called, I'll have to look it up. 30-second cleaner that we get from Lowe's. It's like, it will bleach the boards and it will just help to even out the tone. We've done that on some of the beams above, and while on the beams it's not perfectly done because they're so much thicker, they are vastly improved from what they were before. So I want to do a before and after so that we can see the progress. Okay, this is the living room window, and so I'm going to do a photo of that, and then I'm going to sweep over here to the kitchen window where it's even more weathered, and I'm going to back up so that we can get a bird's eye view of that. And we'll be comparing before and after. told you I'd check back. So it's been about 8 hours since Adam sprayed these walls behind me, and they do look a lot different. We both agree that they are not what we want them to look like, but they are a lot better. So let's take a closer look, and let me just explain a little bit. First, okay, so it lightened them up quite a bit, and the areas where they were black, where some of the weathering, some of those areas have faded and some are still black. Like this back here is still kind of dark. Now Adam sprayed this whole wall down, all the way down. You can see that some areas took better, and then he went back and he hit the black spots again. I think it still needs a little bit more help, and so we are going to wait until Greg comes home and decide what he thinks we need to do. Adam and I have our own opinions, and our opinions are that we're not going to completely get this bleached or whatever, lightened. We kind of think that it would be better to stain it. We've talked about whitewashing it, painting it, and staining it, and we both kind of agreed that the staining it we think would look the best. We want to keep it rustic, and I already explained all that before. If it had uniformly taken up the cleaner, I think that would have been good to just leave it as is, but it still has some splotchiness. If we whitewashed it, I think all those streaks and stuff would still show, and it is pretty water damaged. So yeah, I think the whitewashing isn't going to be quite enough, and we really don't want to paint it because that'll just kind of take away from the nice wood look to it. It's hard to know if you haven't been looking all along just how much these two pieces of trim really do. We have the face facing us and we have the one that's underneath. That's probably about 8 inches and 3 inches on the front here. And all along there, it just makes a long continuous piece of trim. It just takes it from looking kind of tattered into really looking finished. I really love the walnut, and I really don't mind these rustic looking walls after all. I think they'll look really great. We'll put some rustic touches on them when we get around to it, but that is how it is for now. The two boys, with very minimal help from anybody else, framed all this. They framed the walls, they got them up. They installed the windows. Of course, they did have to have some extra manpower help with Greg. But overall, this has been a project that mostly they have done themselves. Now, I won't say that people haven't stepped in as far as Greg, but it's usually been the boys who are doing it, and then just a little bit of supplementation as needed. So because Greg is just not here that much, and the boys are here, at least they were here, and now Andrew's working full time, and so it's pretty much Adam, and he's such a trooper. He's really interested in this kind of work, and so it's really good hands-on learning for him. And yeah, we get benefits both ways because he learns the skills, we get work done, and yeah, I think he's appreciating learning these things. He's not, of course he gets tired, he's a teenager, but he's really a trooper, and we really appreciate all the things that he has been adding to this project, because I will say he's mostly done it all. I don't want to take away from what Andrew's done. Andrew, I believe, installed the ceiling fans. It could have been Adam too, I can't remember. Andrew did the electrical in here, and I don't remember everything. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our look back into the past and pop back into the future, just to get you caught up. Now stick around so that you can see the updates, because we'll be posting more as we have things to update. So have a great day. God bless. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so that you can stay up with what we're doing.